from Cleveland's most accurate weather team. This is 19 First Alert Plus, sponsored by the man that makes them pay, Tim Misney.
And good morning, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. This is a first alert weather day. We actually have some potentially severe weather already out to our west. A live look at that radar there, and we're going to bring in 19 First Alert meteorologist Kelly Dobeck. Kelly, when we see this coming from the west, this is what you folks have been talking about. This is the first round, and we've been giving you the first alert heads up that we've got the potential for some severe weather today.
Yeah, there's a lot to break down here, Dan, because we've got two rounds of storms that we're looking at. The first one is just off to our west, and I pulled it up on First Alert Doppler radar to talk about the impact from this first line of storms and then what we're looking at with our second round that's going to be coming overnight tonight. And I know it can be a little scary when we've got the threat for overnight storms that, sometimes can raise people's anxiety being asleep. So we're going to prepare you and make sure you're not scared and know exactly what to expect here as we head through these first two rounds. So let's start with what's going on right now. I've zoomed out a little bit just to show you here these storms. Look at all the lightning. So this is a warm front that's coming in. It's bringing in warmer temperatures. We're going to be in the 60s this afternoon. It's bringing in moisture, it's bringing in wind, and it's also bringing in a couple of storms that have a good bit of hail, a good bit of lightning, and a good bit of heavy rain. So actually, if I zoom in here and show you this storm right here, I did have a severe thunderstorm warning on it earlier. You just saw the radar loop update here. And with that storm, this is a look from an ODOT plow pushing hail off of the inner US 30 over there just outside of Toledo in Allen County. So what you're seeing right here on the shoulder and in the middle part of the road, that is hail that is being pushed off the road. So these are the storms that are going to be coming in here in the next couple of hours. By the time they get to Cleveland, it'll probably be around lunchtime between 11 and noon. So we could see a good bit of hail with these storms. If we see any severe thunderstorm warnings for these storms in our area, I think most likely it's going to be because of the hail. But we will have a lot of lightning and a good bit of heavy rain with these too. So this is what's coming in right now. You can see just outside of the islands, Oak Harbor, heading towards the Sandusky area. When I turn the radar loop on, and I'm actually going to turn on a different radar mode here once this loads to give you an idea. Give a second for the data to load. But this is the first round that is coming in right now. This is round one. And then we've got another round coming in as we head into the afternoon, overnight hours. So I want to break this down here. So this daytime round's coming in, and then the next round won't be until after midnight. So during the late afternoon, early evening hours, we're going to have a lot of dry time. But with the second round of storms, I'm a little bit more concerned, and I want to show you the big picture before we talk about our overnight risk, because what we're looking at out to our south and our west, this pink you see here, stretching from Tennessee all the way down into portions of eastern Arkansas, Memphis. We're talking about even portions of Kentucky here. This is a level 5 out of 5 on the storm risk. We always talk about there being levels 1 to 2 meaning, yeah, we could see a couple of storms. Level 5 being dangerous. And that's what we are looking at for portions of the south and the west this afternoon. And this is the line of storms that's going to be coming in as it makes its way towards Cleveland. Now notice the risk is lower. It's going to take a lot of our energy, but we have already seen two confirmed tornado warnings on the ground in portions of Missouri. So this is a storm system that is going to be, I think, unfortunately, potentially historical, because we're looking at significant potential for tornadoes and severe weather out to our west. So I think that's why a lot of folks here are also talking about it, because they're hearing about all this potential for severe weather out to our west. And our risk is not that high, not at all. But it's not zero. We've got a level 2 here, and all modes of severe weather are possible with this, but we're going to be watching for a similar situation to what we saw last week, where we've got a lot of cloud cover. We don't have the sun. It's going to be coming in after midnight. So we'll have a lot of ingredients missing, but a lot of ingredients will still be there. So that's why the threat is not zero. So I quickly want to walk you through hour by hour these next line of storms here before I kind of wrap things up with what we're looking at to looking ahead over the next couple of days. So this is 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock o'clock, again, here's the line of storms. This line here, particularly a reminder, we're looking at heavy rain, lightning, and hail with the round that's coming in over the next few hours for this afternoon round. So watch through like 12, 1, 2 o'clock. It's speeding in and out very quickly, and then temperatures are going to rapidly warm up behind that. So look, at by 4 o'clock, we're in the 60s with dry time. It'll be nice. We've got a lot of moisture pumping in here, maybe a couple of isolated showers, but I want you to really pay attention to the timestamp here for this next round, because again, it is going to be overnight, so that's why we always talk about having multiple ways to receive warnings. The 19 First Alert Weather app, Dan, is a really good tool for, the potential for a couple of stronger storms overnight.
And what amazes me about that is look at how warm it is at midnight. It is 68 degrees in Cleveland, and I'm not the meteorologist, you are, but I know when you get temperatures that warm and you have a front that comes through, that's where the energy is. That's what you guys call the fuel for these storms. So that 68 degrees at midnight should be worrisome.
Yes, and that's why, again, the threat is, it's there. And again, thankfully, we don't have the sun to help fuel the storms to make them stronger, but we can't rule out, my biggest concern is going to be damaging wind gusts along this line, especially for the storms when they first get into our western counties. The risk is a little bit higher over here, west of the 71 corridor. So Huron County, Erie County, even portions of Lorain County here could be dealing with gusty winds. This is 2 a.m. You see the line coming through, but notice there's not as much dark red in here, because this line will be weakening as it makes its way east through our area. So by 3 a.m., notice there's virtually no red. It's just going to be a good downpour, but it's still something to watch. Gusty winds will still be a big concern. And Dan, the next part I unfortunately have to talk about after all of this is 2 rounds of rain we're going to be seeing today, but through the weekend, we're looking at several more rounds of rain. So flooding is actually going to be, I think, the biggest severe weather concern over the next few days. If you live in a flood-prone area, if your basement typically floods, if you have sub-pump issues, we're looking at around 3 to 4 plus inches of rain for the Cleveland area, Cuyahoga County through Sunday. So it is going to be very soggy. River flooding is going to be a big concern here too. So that's just kind of the cherry on top of today's severe weather risk. We're also going to be watching for flooding concerns all the way through the weekend.
And we're going to take that 15-second break. And Kelly, before we do that, this is exactly why we have First Alert. That's why we've grown that moniker. That's why we've pounded it, so that you understand we have given you an alert to all that is about to happen today, in the next hour, overnight, and then Kelly talking about the flooding. We're going to take a 15-second break and look at the rest of the week.
I've represented families just like yours for over 4 decades. Listen, if you need me, call me. You know I'll be there for you, and I'll make them pay. In the meantime, I'll keep an eye out for you.
And Kelly, when you look at a 7-day, when our viewers look at this, you always look for the red days. We have 2 First Alert weather days, today and Saturday, so walk us through it.
Yeah, so today, again, is going to be for these 2 rounds of storms. The first one incoming now. We're worried about heavy rain and lightning and some hail. And then overnight tonight, we could see all modes of severe weather. Damaging winds going to be the biggest concern. But then notice there are still rain chances in the forecast every day through Sunday. So Saturday's concern, the reason we've issued an alert day for Saturday, is because of flooding risks. And Dan, I've been yapping so much about what's going on the next 24 hours. I didn't even get a chance to mention opening day. I don't even know if I want to say it. If you just look at the screen, you see what the forecast is for opening day.
And it's like, are you kidding me? Come on, like, I feel bad for the Guardians, because they're like, hey, let's get everything ready. All these renovations are going to be done. Oh yeah, opening day, snow, same old story. This is unbelievable. We've been having 60-degree days, 70-degree days. Opening day, 35.
Snow. Yep, and that trend of cold looks to continue into next week. So we'll get there, but we got to get you through the severe weather first, and then of course the big story will be snow on opening day, which we've Jeff keeps saying he's having flashbacks to 2007.
Oh sure.
So, but yeah, the whole team's here. Erica, Sam coming in early to keep you guys safe and alerted during this first round of storms, and of course all hands will be on deck tonight through the overnight hours. We'll be here watching if any of these storms start to look a little funky. We'll give you that first alert, and you mentioned Dan too, the 19 First Alert weather app. It's one of those days where it's good to have multiple ways to get warnings. Charge your phone. You'll get them based on exactly where you live. If lightning's a mile within your house, that's one of my favorite favorite features on the app is the lightning counter, the lightning tracker, because it lets you know, hey, the storms are getting close, or hey, even if it's not raining at your house, there's still lightning close by.
And yeah, I'm going to further on that. The lightning tracker it pinpoints, it uses GPS and pinpoints where you are. So if there's lightning in Sandusky, I'm in Cleveland. What do I care? You're not going to get that. It's when it gets close to exactly where you're at. That's why our app is so phenomenal. Kelly Doback, 19 First Alert meteorologist. Thanks for keeping us first alerted. Have a good day and be safe.
Thank you, Dan.
All right, take care. It is going to be a busy day in the weather department, so make sure you tune in to our 11 o'clock on CW43, our noon broadcast. That's right when these first rounds of storms are going to be arriving here in Northeast Ohio, so want to make sure you tune in to our newscast. If anything does go severe and we need to get you a heads up, we'll be right here on our digital platforms and walk you through it. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. Have a good afternoon.
19 News is everywhere. Download our CTV apps and follow us on social media at Cleveland 19 News.